that create a summary in 5 lines and also create an image 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are the parameters. Based on that, it will create. Now AI is not creating on its own. It is creating based on your instruction, which otherwise you would have created manually. So manual task is now done by the machine, and you are having sufficient proof. So if you use, like, even up to the extent, the question I said you that if you and your student take a project and you work on that, you create an image after various refinement, you get a nice image which is very close and resembles with your research work. Now you can claim that image of yours, number one.
So once the plagiarism checker is there, so there is a percentage limit is that this much content should be AI generated. So if I prove it, ki, okay, this after so many refinement, this image has been generated through AI. So how much content will be supported through this, which is generated through AI?
Then, as per Indian Evidence Act, for patent, specifically for patent, those laws were framed well before this AI tool was introduced. So as per Indian law, if you create something like this, and if you file a patent, there will always be a gray area because they have not defined anything on that, number one. But since there is a conclusion, there is a evidence, so most likely you are going to get the IPR on this. Second, when you submit a paper to the conference, now conference is not working on legal. There are conferences where they allow to 25% plagiarism. So this is not plagiarism. This is matter of copyright. This is matter of copyright. Plagiarism, if you take something like from, you are writing a paper, you refer this research paper, you copy the content from there exactly as it is, place them in your paper and claim that this is mine. You do not mention from where you have taken it. This will be plagiarism. But you rightly, if you mention that this is taken from this, the moment you disclose it, it means it is complying to the NDA, non-disclosure. So in that case, so many a times, most researchers, they seek permission from the main author that I want to use this. The moment you do this, you come out. So now this image is created. Now, let us try to refine once again this problem. So now, for this prompt, I have refined it for third time. So more you refine your prompt, which is relevant to your work, more likely you are going to closer to get the copyright on this. So intellectual property, in changing time, is changing its way, the way it has been dealt with. Like the same example, you and your student, 5 members team, you created some research, you have drawn some image there, you have some text also, you have developed an algorithm, all those things you have done. Now tell me, ultimately who is going to be the owner of that intellectual property created? You and your group of 5 people, 1 professor and 4 students, they have done this. Now who will be the owner of this paper? Logically, let us.
The prompt writer. Prompt writer.
Prompt writer, it refines the content. He or she is not inventor.
But copyright will be
For what?
for
Suppose out of 4 students, out of 5, faculty member itself creates that algorithm. That faculty who is part of that that faculty creates the algorithm and then it gives to one of the students that you create an image which depicts this concept. Now who will be the owner of that image which is created? Faculty created algorithm and then faculty asked the student to create an image for that algorithm to define the flow. Now algorithm, based on algorithm, flow is going to be created. Now who will be the owner of this?
Who created the algorithm?
He will be the owner of algorithm. But image created by the student. So image owner will be, because it is considered to be an artistic work. So image will be owned by the student. Because image creation is based on certain identified or defined algorithm. Now somebody has drafted that content, algorithm was designed, image was created. And then somebody is presenting in the form of paper to students. So now there are three aspects. One, algorithm. Second, image. Third, the person who is writing. Means? Sorry. Now see this change. In this I have given third prompt. I have added logo of National PG College, Lucknow on the top left corner. Now you see that logo is wrong.
Yes, sir. Logo is wrong.
Because this machine is not trained on logo of National PG College. So if you take as it is this image and paste somewhere, logo will itself start crying that I am not the genuine. So you will have to get the logo once, you have to upload logo once, place there. Next time, whenever you will use, it may be or may not be the same, the actual logo will be present. Next time also there may be some mistake in logo. But after a few iterations, even if you write, attach logo of National PG College Lucknow, it will automatically take and paste it. So every refinement of prompt will take this content closer to your own original thought. And that's where your claim will be genuine. You can apply for it. So the paper who writes, the text who writes, so owner of that text will be that group who will actually repair the contents. Means in one complete paper, the ownership is not with any individual. You cannot say that owner of this complete paper is everyone who has written this. If you go for intellectual property right, every individual for his or her contribution will have to be given due. हाँ.
सर हमारे ने पर्टिकुलर कोई टॉपिक हमने सेलेक्ट किया और उस टॉपिक से 10 पेपर होंगे सेम टॉपिक और काफी सारे हम चैटजीपीटी पे डालते हैं फिर एक पेपर जो भी लिख के आया कंटेंट पेपर के लिए उसको फिर रिफाइन करते गए फिर उसको हमने पब्लिकेशन के लिए भेजा सर क्या आप पकड़े जाएंगे
This is unethical. See, no, there is nothing wrong with it. When you do literature review, your first paper normally in PhD literature review only. You refer to different papers of different authors. You read those papers, you try to find out what actually that author wants to convey, what actually he has done or she has done. You collect all those things and then you sum up with your own observation. It is not plagiarism because you have not presented those contents exactly the way. You have used that for your purpose and you have also acknowledged it. So the moment you start acknowledging, so you are not saying, you are not claiming that this work is yours. You are giving due to the original authors. So plagiarism is something you take as it is. Means you have written a paper, I have taken that paper from net, I changed the topic, I removed your name, I put Sunil Pandey there and sent for some conference or journal. Even some part, that's why most of the good journals or conferences, they ask for plagiarism less than 5 to 7%.
So for that draft you mean we have to mention each and every contribution in the draft itself?
If you have taken from somewhere.
I mean, if someone has created the image, if someone has...
Yes, that's why.
Everyone has to be mentioned.
Yes, that's why when you file the patent, the team, every team member is mentioned there and credited there.
but tablet में there are software that complete black.
देखिए, now if you what it does, many a times it happens that simple sentence formation if you take.
But they
So-
call it paraphrasing. ना?
See, paraphrasing, even if you paraphrase like in a research paper which is probably written, maybe is written on object-oriented analysis and design. Let us take it this way. Now if you take complete paper, 20-page paper, you identify one word, replace with some other word. Or you change the way it was written. Ultimately the output, the result of that paper, whether you write this way or that way, is going to be the same. You may be blacklisted. You may be blacklisted by the publisher. It happens. Once in Ghaziabad it happened that similar thing, what I did for you. Your paper, I omitted the topic, I wrote my topic, my name, and it was sent, it was published also. After 3-4 years, some researcher outside India was searching for some paper for his research work. Suddenly he found these two papers, and those two papers were identical except the topic and author. That person complained to the publisher that these two papers are written on two different names.
Cloned copy of the first.
Almost,
हाँ.
almost. That publisher sent a mail to the authors, all the authors, but since the author who had published first, he was given the credit. Author, those who have submitted later, they were considered to be the plagiarized paper submission. A mail was sent not only to their authors, to those two authors, it was sent to their institute also, to the director, that this is the case, this is unethical, and subsequently, 10-15 years back it happened. So we have to be very, very careful when we are working on research, because plagiarism is something which may place us in such a situation which we might not have even dreamt for. So AI tools, whenever we are using like this, now if I submit here the logo of National PG College, replace the current logo of National PG College with the attached image. It will replace it. Once it replaces it, now it will be added to this ChatGPT database. Now that's where actually catch starts. When you collect data for, let us say, if you take data, you will take data of a student or employee or somebody, some individual data you will take. When you collect data, you ask name, but obvious. You ask for some answer for given questions. You ask for his or her mobile number, email ID, maybe date of birth to consider, to compute or calculate the age, that age should be greater than 18 years or like that. Maybe address or city belongs. You collected all the data. You properly worked on it. And then you're one of the students of that team. He uploads that data to ChatGPT or Gemini or Perplexity just to reevaluate his work, what he has done, how much it is resembling, because this is the tool. It will work extensively. What we can do, because it has lots of options, the algorithms and everything. So, because once I asked to find out that paper, it searched all globally available IPR organizations. Indian patent, German patent, UK patent, US patent, WIPO, everything it searched, and then it provided this conclusion that in view of all these bodies, this paper actually gives this novice thing. Now, once, suppose that the student has, now a student's intention is not to share the data. But what he has, because he was not aware that how this data could be part of the next processing. Now he passes the data exactly the way it was collected. Now a student name, email ID, mobile number, everything goes to it. The moment it goes to the ChatGPT, it becomes a part of it. Now next time if somebody uses that data, this data could be used there also. Now under DPDP, it is a heinous crime. And for institution, up to July 2027, institutions have been asked to create a mechanism that once they collect the data from the students or anybody, they have to create a setup where this data has to be protected. The privacy comes into it. Because everyone means, how many of us would like to share our mobile number with any unknown person? Your mobile number is personal. Your date of birth is personal. Your email ID is personal. So nobody wants to share this data except with whom you want to share this. So means your privacy is going to be compromised.